feedback as I'm tapping back in. So we did just witness a pretty big team fight, power one out, as you guys imagine. It was a 1-for-1 trade, and of course Merlini was just explaining that 1-for-1 trades are pretty decent for Rattlesnake. They will have Radiance finish right about now, but LGD is looking to win a big team fight, and they should take a Rex. They need to take a Rex right now. IC was the person that died in that team fight, and they only got a whisk out of it, but still, 1-for-1 trade is still good.
They need to get the jump on Rattlesnake. Rattlesnake, every time they've won the engagement is mostly when they get the jump on LGDint, whether it be Song of the Siren or just catching one person out of position. I think that LGD needs to either get the relocate gang with the epicenter really going, especially without a Lincoln's or BKB on an Niagara Siren. I think they can burst her down. Or they just need to get a swap initiated in, or a Shadow Blade into a scythe. The Shadow Blade scythe with the global teleport is just such a powerful tool from Nature's Prophet. I didn't see Pycat utilize it too much last game, hasn't been utilized this game, but it's just a great potential for picking off kills. Again, they are having a little bit of trouble finding Rattlesnake though. Currently, they're just using the Naga Siren Radiance illusions to farm out right now, and none of them are actually out in a dangerous position.
Yeah, it's 5-man ancient time here for Rattlesnake. One thing that you do have to be somewhat worried about the way that Naga farms like this is that he's not going to have any levels. He's level 12 right now on a person that's going to be accelerating into creep kills. Unfortunately, those creep kills don't give him any experience, so it's going to be somewhat annoying for him to deal with. Also, you see some players pick into a Soul Ring to kind of help with mana. He does have a bottle and an urn, so maybe that's not going to be his item choice though.
And Marana going a little bit of a different build than last game.
BKB.
Only picking up BKB, that's different. He went Shadow Blade into Mantis style, into Butterfly, and a gem as well. I think they still do need a gem versus this Weaver.
Do they not have a gem?
Oh, they have one. Gem was sinking.
Okay. Like, we are very deep in the game right now, and they definitely should have a gem. I guess the BKB is quite well warranted on G.
There's BKB on Vengeful Sphere too.
Yeah.
My goodness.
I'm not sure whether this one is needed, but the more the merrier against all of the magical damage that's available on Rattlesnake. Rattlesnake is just magical based right now. They don't have enough to physical. I guess Weaver does some.
Well, it's really good versus the way that Rattlesnake have been initiating. They just walk in with Earthshaker during a Song of Siren and drop a call down, and if you can prevent that Echo Slam burst plus a call down, they can turn around and team fight.
I don't think that, for them.
Yeah, I don't think the pipe will be enough just because that is huge amounts of burst. Wow, another BKB from Nature's Prophet.
Jeez. I think they're planning to all use all these high charge BKB and just basically go for the one big team fight victory and just go for the win. There is a point booster on Weaver. Is this a Hex or is this a Lincoln's? A Mantle?
Well, you said point booster on Weaver?
No. Ultimate Orb. Sorry,
Ultimate
that's what
Orb.
I meant.
Okay. Probably a Lincoln's. It blocks the Sand King stun, which is amazing. Blocks Nature's Prophet ultimate, not so good. Blocks Side of the Vice, which is also amazing.
Magic Missile.
Venge stun, amazing. And I guess that's about it. They don't have any 4 stats right now that can proc it. Pycat has 2,000 gold. I think a Veil would probably be the best choice because they only have 1 BKB up on the team.
Long range arrow. Scouting it out.
Scouting it out. Nice try. Nice try.
Yeah, we did have a little bit of technical difficulty, so I'm not sure if people are able to keep track at home. Hopefully, our in-game observer are still doing that for us. But we have not forgot the journey that we are going with G in terms of his arrow accuracy.
So there is the second T2 tower down. LGD has taken a commanding gold lead, 15,000, but nothing totally insurmountable. Rattlesnake holding on. They're caught back up in kills, kind of 17-10 in favor of LGD, and still next Roshan respawning in 2 minutes. And LGD really has to be prepared for this one though, because the last one Rattlesnake could just kind of turtle and take fights just because they simply have the Aegis and then delay for the Naga Siren's Radiance, and she could farm really fast right now. She only has 1,200 gold after the Radiance because her area to farm is really limited with the constant pressure out from LGD, but one big team fight for Rattlesnake could completely change this game around.
I'm extremely impressed with the way that they another miss arrow. I'm extremely impressed with the way that LGD is dealing with these Naga illusions. They just kill them on sight, and because Naga's not exactly at max level, she doesn't have really tanky illusions as a result. And they're not really farming too much. You're not getting the last hits. You really need like a vid booster on Naga Siren for this strategy to be truly effective. And hopefully for her sake, she's working towards that.
And doing a little bit of dewarding action on the side of LGD. They're finally prepared for Roshan. I like this. They gave up the first one for free. They know that they shouldn't give it the next one. They have a gem. They put an observer here 1 minute before, and they are a little bit ready. Although I would have liked the observer ward a little bit to the east to take out the ancient spawn that Rattlesnake has been abusing the whole entire game. But, oh, actually, that observer ward just got dewarded with the Visage Familiars.
Now, I'm actually not sure whether the Radiant could actually go into the Roshan pit. Keep in mind that the Rattlesnake could wait till the Roshan gets low.
Yeah, the
Come in with
Song of
sleep,
Siren is
yeah.
way too strong for that.
Oh, Lamb, gotta be careful. You don't show yourself when you're playing like this. Also, Lamb, again, very, very big factor is that his levels is quite low. Like, I'm not sure what Lamb could do.
I think to secure a very safe Roshan, well, first off, they need to apply split push pressure to top, force Rattlesnake there because they are not good at fighting without 5.
But
so,
can you split push against a Naga like this, though?
Yeah, I think so. I think that Prophet has enough items right now. He is huge. He is 2780 gold. I'm looking at net worth graph right now. He is at 18,600. He is almost double the Naga Sirens. So I think they should just push out top with Brax and him try and play safely. They do have a gem, so he has to be a little bit careful, but they have to stick around as 5. Notice, again, Rattlesnake mission, 5-man, whole entire game, and if they can force him away, take the T2 tower out on bottom, and then just apply pressure on top, force him away from the Roshan pit, and just try and sneak it in. The only problem is they don't really have the burst damage. They don't have any minus armor besides the Vengeful Spirit, Wave of Terror, and no medallion, and no damage item yet on the Nature's Prophet.
I'm getting a little bit of ESP on the mid lane, still pushing out the top as well with using his illusions. Mirana there to clean things up, and again, they're now assuming a very kind of offensive position next to the Roshan pit. And the Radiant, are they going to allow this one to be done? They do have this tree and to scout things out. Definitely what you have been suggesting throughout this entire game. Keep scouting, making sure you de-ward properly. They're not going to go in and take it. I don't think they can, and they definitely don't think they can as well. Weaver up to about 1,600 gold. Weaver up to 2,600 gold. Naga up to 2,000 after picking up a Vib booster. So now a lot more effective in his play of kind of delaying the game, drawing out the game. And again, I think Rattlesnake can win like this if it goes long enough.
So G is pushing out top right now, and the question is, are they going to notice that Naga Siren is outside of the base? He's going back to heal right now. They have no way of knowing, and they are drawn away from the Roche pit right now. They have a small window to go in right now. Are they going to take it?
There's a tier 2 tower right next to the Roshan pit on the bot lane, so I'm not really sure. Again, it's like you said, they don't have enough damage output.
MKB on Gyro, he's getting farmed.
Yeah, he's getting some items. I mean, both Gyrocopter and now the Weaver can't be ignored. Naga Siren really can't be ignored as well. We're not seeing what we saw a lot out of Zenith, which is like Naga Illusions chasing after supports and picking them off the Radiance, because these supports are fairly tanky, but eventually that's going to happen, because Wisdom's actually quite weak here. The Legion's going to come in and do a little bit of extra damage here, and they're forcing out mech usage. And again, they're slowly pushing out top, pushing out mid, and pushing out bot.
Yep, stalemate, and it looks like there are the Visage Familiars from the side of Rattlesnake. They are fully prepared to scout out this Roshan pit. Both teams not wanting to give it away, but neither team strong enough to take it either.
What is exactly the point of contention here for both teams? Rattlesnake, they just want to stay alive, so they're just trying to avoid.
They're just trying to farm with Naga Siren and Gyrocopter. They have the better late game.
Yeah.
And looking at the lineup, Potom versus Weaver and a Gyrocopter and a Naga Siren,
Right,
they
so
can delay all they want.
Why isn't LGD like putting a lot of pressure on the
Well,
bot
they
lane?
don't even have enough. They don't even have enough map control.
Arrow, that's gonna be a long one on Luo. Do you relocate on top?
Oh, is he gonna swap him? Nope.
I don't know. He does have backtrack, so just a nice arrow that can hold him off, and that's a tier 2, the last of the tier 2. I think this tier 2 was fairly important for the Roshan engagement. We keep saying how important it is, so that's not a irrelevant pick off. But the mid equilibrium getting on the tier 1, man, they haven't even lost tier 1 mid. That's how far ahead. And now they're thinking about the Roshan.
Oh, they see the bats. This is important. They actually need these bats down so they can take Roche.
Well, are they going to rescue the bats? Illusions are going to be coming out from the Naga Siren. The Sprout comes in, giving a little bit of sight, and they're all going to get destroyed. I'm not too sure whether... Oh, yeah, no, those are on cooldown, and they're now starting to work on them.
Okay, so now they need to send Naga Illusions in so they get vision. It's really important to keep
They know.
vision up.
They know they're
Roshan.
doing it, but they just can't challenge.
Right, and I mean, this is a big loss for Rattlesnake. Not just giving up this Aegis for free. I think that they are strong enough to take it out right now, or even if they aren't, they need to contest this, because I think LGD.int can just kind of zerg down this tower with mass buybacks, with the relocate, with the Furion Global TP, with the Aegis. They have a lot to burn through. It looks like LGD.int is making a move.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
mid tower.
they had sleep, so the fact that they didn't take a fight at all just shows them how weak they are. And again, LG says, we have the Aegis, but we're not going to make use of it. And I guess if you're Rattlesnake, you say, well, I guess there's no need to fight for the Aegis, because they're not even going to push with it. It's just like kind of 200 gold for each player, and I don't think gold is going to be the point of contention. 20 gold, 20,000 gold lead for
So
LGD.
there's a data list out on Brax right now. They really need to wait for buyback on him, as well as on Marana. She looks like she's in very nice position for gold on that. Sand King actually has a Shiva's Guard. So I think they can take a T3 tower. They need to push out the lanes. They have the Nature's Prophet, who is so good at doing that. And once they do that, they can probably force the issue. But I think they need to make a move soon. Even with this gold deficit being 25,000 right now, I feel a little bit of the pressure on LGD.int.
Well, I'm not sure. Lamb does pick up the heart. They do smoke up. Let's see what they make of it. Again, they got to be watching out about things like swap, relocate epicenter. They would not find anybody to as they roam south. And I think LGD roaming close to the base. If they catch the tier 3 and nobody's actually in position to defend, they could just pick off 1 or 2 in front of the base and just win the game right there.
There's no buyback on the Naga Siren, no buyback on the Gyrocopter. If they pick out one of those 2 heroes, it might very well be GG. So they are knocking at the door of the throne right now, taking out that tower, and
here comes
there's no glyph. They're coming from behind.
Yep, let's see who they're going to get right now. Pycat's blinked out again. So BKB's going to pop, and he's going to be right-clicking on Kabu. 2 hits. Kabu, I see in big trouble as well. It's going to 3 or 4 hits on double buyback coming out, or it should be. Where's the Gyrocopter? Brax is low. Got to focus him down. Naga, get in the fight. Nobody focus him down. Brax is still okay. Weaver trying to do some work. He's going to go back. Meanwhile, Neil trying to be on the run. He's also going to focus down by G. What is Naga doing? Naga's going to pop the sleep in the very last moment. You got to go for the Brax kill, right? You echo him.
Buyback, though.
Well, you do get him killed. Force out the buyback. Brax is now going to rejoin the fight. Epicenter being channel, and I think that's it. That's just too much stuff. Too much resources coming out from LGD. Relocate even back. Somebody.
Brax was just too big. He just straight up man mode the Gyrocopter right there, and I mean
he killed the Earthshaker in 2 hits as well. So that's just insane. And now, the last line of defense completely breached. These illusions trying their best to hold down. Shiva Guard even pop out to kind of break down all those Naga illusions. And Midrax is going to go down, and I do believe yet another lane is going to go down as well. Weaver. Everybody's back alive very, very soon. Let's see if they can hold the bot racks. If Dire could win a team fight right now, there's no epicenter. There's very little ultimate left. So swap and Hex. Luo's going to get all the way back out. But look at the right hit from Brax. Jesus. Brax is just killing them, calling down. They're going to get a kill on Misery at least. Yes, IC is actually going to flacking away, but Brax doesn't care. He's just killing everybody. Where's actually the soul assumption and everything else in the Misery? But Misery had Aegis. He pops the BKB. He's manhandling, or is he? Misery's going to go down as well. A successful base defense.
They lose a gem?
If you could call it that. I'm not even sure how successful the base defense is, but they pick off a couple guys. They're still alive.
That was
okay.
That was okay. It could have gone a lot worse for them there.
They could have lost.
I'm actually curious as to why they gave the Aegis to the Vengeful Spirit. I think it would have been a lot better, perhaps on the Furion, Cellular Midas for that, or even on the Sand King.
Furion's backing door.
Yeah,
teleporting
he's
up top.
So big right now. I actually underestimated his damage potential with that overcharge from the Wisp.
Overcharge, Midas, Shadowblade, a ton of attack speed to kind of crit with, and just straight backdooring your racks.
It was also very nice sprout on the Gyrocopter there. He popped his BKB, but he was still trapped in and able to be focused down. They don't have any force staffs on the side.
He could have flacked it. He did flack some, but after the flack was done.
Yeah, but not being able to run away is a big
deal.
Yeah,
that's definitely
I mean, Brax just destroyed him in that.
Well, I mean, does this change the position of this game? I think Rattlesnake is still very far behind. It's not like they use any kind of critical buyback on Naga or Weaver or anything like that. I don't think it changed much at all. Like, Rattlesnake is still going to play the exact same way they've been playing.
The problem is that, I mean, with the next Aegis is almost guaranteed to be GG, and that is coming up in just about 5 minutes time. I hope they give it to a more important hero than Vengeful Spirit.
Well, you're saying as if LGD have earned the right to those Aegis.
I think
last
they can
time
with the split push.
True, that's definitely it. But last time Rattlesnake didn't even challenge when they had Naga sleep. I think they could actually at least try to challenge it.
Yeah, again, I think they should have done it for last time. It's like it's almost guaranteed to lose a Rex if you just give up a free Roshan at this point in the game. Again, they have the better lineup, but you have to take some risks sometime. Well, maybe that's not the philosophy, the mantra of Asian teams. No risk, no reward, though.
There's no risk being taken on either team in this game. As G is working towards that butterfly, that thing is almost being finished.
China has taught LGD well.
I guess. The fact that they're in the loser of Alienware Cup may not be it.
There they go.
BKB's going to be popping. They're actually going to go right in on Icy. BKB's... Oh, they do swap him back, and Icy has to fight his way out. A Sprout ground target. Nicely done here. Misery going to be okay as well. Misery being level 16, having such high level swap is such a big deal here.
Gyrocopter, no buyback. This looks bad.
They have Naga sleep. That's some seconds.
Oh, relocate being used to heal up G. He does have buyback, but looking to play a little bit safe here. Misery about a half HP. He is probably the biggest leader in danger of dying.
Nice here. Just getting any item you could get right now to end the game.
Take off that Naga net.
I guess. My ice is on Pycat right now.
Yep, he is in position for a huge epicenter.
Arrow, not going to land as well. I don't even know where we're on the arrow count. Maybe we'll get a final count on arrow a little bit later on, but LGD looking to win the game now. Mid is being
Weaver's trying to split push.
Yeah, Weaver doing a very good job split pushing. Up to 3,000 gold as well. That's his buyback. That's his hex.
Oh, they ping on Kabu.
Arrows gonna hit on Kabu right now, and he's gonna get magic missile, and all the nukes is gonna go on. Oh, Song of Siren just a second too late. Kabu, does he have buyback? He doesn't. And once the Song of Siren's out, oh, BKB swap, Lamb hexed up as well. He's got buyback, epicenter being channeled, and that's going to be going on everybody. Icy doesn't have too much nuke, but the right clicks from G as well as Misery is going to burst him down. The arrow didn't hit, but BKB blocks it, and they will bring down Lamb for a second time. I think we are going to see a GG very soon as Brax.
GG comes out from Luo. Well played by LGDint. So
Really,
it looks like
really
Rattlesnake's
well
going home, or just staying at their computers and out of this tournament.
Out of the tournament. I do have to say that Brax, very, very impressive performance throughout all of the game.
I think it's better than Pycats.
Better than Pycat. Throughout all 3 games, just play absolutely brilliantly.
Yeah.
On
Bruno mentioned him as a wild card, and they really did ride on Brax's performance. I would say he slightly overperformed. I mean, he was good. Overperformed. Better than expectations.
Oh, I see.
I saw his live steal the other day. He just kept going on this razor and just getting owned.
Yeah,
like that was like, I was like, come on, Brax, you know better than that.
It was matchup disadvantage. But
So let's pass it to our panels. See what they have to say about the game.
Yep.
Is there such a thing as overperforming?
I guess you can overperform if
Never
you.
heard of
It's
this
like
before.
overclocking your CPU, something like that. I don't know. I mean, he did play well.
Yeah, he absolutely did. Listen, I got to stand up for my man, G here. He's
Okay.
taking a lot of flame. Wayne Gretzky, famous quote, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." He took the shots,
And
he missed a lot of the shots,
80% of those shots, but he hit the key ones.
but he hit the ones that counted. At the end there, hits a nice arrow,
Yeah.
jams it in, as the saying goes.
Do we have a final count, by the way?
K-Poptosis, where are you?
Because I mean, I imagine people started playing this drinking game, right?
Yeah.
And now
Dude.
it's. I have to break it up to you guys. I have to be honest.
Okay.
I wanted to play the drinking game, but I decided not to.
James, however,
Well, yeah,
took it to heart.
he's already lost there. But
He had a little too
I chose not to because I have a drinking problem.
Oh.
Whenever I try
sorry to
to
hear
grab
that.
a drink, sometimes I spill on myself. It's a problem I have.
That's such a next level joke. It's so next level that was previous level. I don't know.
It's kind of like a
It goes around the
kindergarten.
circle. Well,
Things you have to endure with me here.
What?
I can't believe I had to endure that joke. Oh, Bruno.
Anyways,
But LGD, I almost want to say dodge a bullet here.
Yeah.
Getting past Rattlesnake. Rattlesnake, probably a team that hasn't been at their strongest yet, but they came out fighting today. Even though they go down, they made a good run of it.
yeah, I mean, it was an interesting series. I stand by my point that Rattlesnake played to very defensive, very reactionary Dota.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a sign that you're not doing things very well. Because when you're playing like that, you're playing to the mistakes of your opponent.
Yeah.
Not to take it. I mean, there were many mistakes in terms of arrows shot, but not much more than that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the relocate epicenters were on target. The Naga Siren from Rattlesnake. Well, I mean, there were some things that were okay and were not, but in the end, LGDint ended up showing that they are a contender.
It seems like LGD kind of, I don't know, sort of understands their weaknesses almost. Like, they know they're not that good at breaking the base. It's been a problem for them. So they've been doing what I guess Merlini was calling just over farming at times even. But in this
35,000 gold.
Yeah, 35,000 gold lead. Originally they were on the record as saying that you need 20,000 gold to break the base. And well,
They bumped it up to 10,000.
there's the LGDN factor apparently, which is just add an extra 15k to that, and then you're good to go.
Well, one other problem with that is that they had to pick so much early game. They only had Potom for late game, but she's pretty good early game too. They had to pick so much early game, and because of that, of the weakness of their late game heroes, they have to have items to compensate.
No,
for the
they
weakness
had
of their lineup.
Brax. Brax was all the late game.
I mean, he's Nature's Prophet though. He doesn't
Yeah.
scale as well with items as, let's say, Gyrocopter, as
Sure.
Niagara Siren, as Alchemist.
he gets a ton of gold.
So let me ask you then, Merlini, Lumi, do you guys think that they can match up well against these top Chinese teams? If you play that safe, that defensively, if you give them that much time, even if they're down, can't they come back
Absolutely
against that?
not. I don't think so. I
Yeah.
don't think they can match up versus at least a top 4 in the upper bracket. The DK, LGD China, maybe LGD China, but not VRIG.
I think they definitely could snowball very well, and they showcase kind of all 3 games. But what they have really big problem with during mid game, when the game gets a little bit more slowed down against a DK against LGD China, they're not going to give you those tier 2s, and I don't think LGD.int is equipped to take those tier 2s right now. So.
I also think that Rattlesnake was really slow on rotating, and they knew what they were going to do. They did pretty much the exact same thing they did the first game, and they still didn't react. Earthshaker was a little bit slow on moving around, and I think that the really top tier teams will be prepared for that before it happens.
Yep.
You can't do it after the fact. It's too late by that point. You already gave up first blood. Earthshaker just running into the jungle and just getting straight up stunned.
Yeah.
You know that can't happen, and I think the better teams will not make those sort of mistakes. They'll be more preventative instead of reactive, as Bruno was talking about, and they'll be able to mitigate the early game damage that their lineup will enforce and just not let them snowball.
And I think the other interesting thing that comes out today is we saw this from MUFC actually yesterday, where they're picking Wisp
Today.
Profit. Oh, actually, yeah, it was
MFT.
today. Jesus.
Yeah, it's these are weird when you live in this schedule, but
It feels like another universe.
Yeah.
Before James unleashed himself on the stream. But that Wisp Profit opening, we saw MUFC turn to it twice. Didn't work for them. For LGDN, worked a bit better, but it feels a little... I mean, when someone opens like that, what's your first reaction as one of these teams? I mean, you see them go Wisp Profit, it's like they've laid all their cards on the table.
it's I feel like they're putting all their eggs in one basket when they're doing that.
Yeah.
It's like keep on picking and just go for a tinker as well while you're at it, right?
Right.
It's a lot of split push, a lot of just like global control of the map. The problem of that lineup is that if you can play as 5, which is something that Rattlesnake did well on game 1,
Right.
you just go and team fight. I mean, they will by nature have to be split. And yes, of course, if you team fight and if you take so long and you're not executing properly, then the split push might punish you by, let's say that Nature's Prophet will take 1 tower out of you. But if you have a very good team fight composition that can transition into pushing, and there are lots of heroes that can do that, then you're just saying, okay, I will play this lineup and I will just make 2 of your heroes irrelevant. Because Wisp, very nice for pickoffs, but when you're playing 5-man Dota,
What does that actually do?
nothing.
Very little unless you're ahead.
It allows you to split push.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is one of the benefits about Wisp, and that's why he's so strong against 5-man push lines. You can constantly split push, and with that Furion, you have constant pressure on your towers, and they're so limited on farm because they have to go back and defend, and they have to retreat as a team, as a 4-man team, and they had to stick together as a ball the whole game. And even though they came ahead on a couple of team fights, the goal graph just kept going up to that 35,000 mark that LGD apparently has a new benchmark for.
They've broken a lot of records today. Arrows missed. Gold needed to break the base.
32 to 100 gold, you think?
Bad jokes inspired towards Bruno.
Yes. Apparently I got an 8 in creativity.
Yeah.
So I should have
We need the Bruno hexagon. We'll have to prepare that for next time, I think.
Yeah. We'll see. Anyways, next time. What will be next time?
What's our schedule?
Yes,
LD?
please, LD.
Tomorrow we're going to be playing our upper bracket round 3 matches. It's going to be it's
Navi's
Navi
there.
versus IG. That's the second match, and
DK LGD China.
DK LGD China.
Jesus.
Oh man,
That first matchup is. I mean, the second matchup everyone knows. There's lots of story about that. I mean, we can talk ages, but that first match is something that I really like because these are two teams that have a history of being very patient, if you want to call them that
Lumi's
way.
gonna like these games.
that was very magnanimous of you, Bruno.
Yeah.
Almost respectful.
No, I mean, I was in the wrong. LD showed me the way I thought they were boring. He told me, you just
Yeah,
watch.
now he loves them. He wants to. You're going to cast all of their games from now
I'm
on.
going to cast all of the games.
And
yeah,
you're going to
yes.
like it.
Yes.
All right. You're not gonna
Absolutely.
like it.
But anyways, I think that these two teams are substantially different. I don't think that they both play the same kind of passive.
But they're both Chinese,
Yeah, Tongfu is as well, and they're not passive at all. What's the point?
aren't they? All the same.
Don't put
No.
words in my mouth that I
No?
never
That's
said.
racist, LD.
Yeah, Jesus. Next time when the Korean teams appear as well, will you say they're farmers as well? Just
No, they're all micro masters.
Micromasters.
They're all going to pick Meepo.
I like the name Micromasters.
It's actually
Yeah.
a good name.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Lego brand.
What about Japanese?
Japanese don't play Dota.
Yeah.
Kawa's our resident Japanese expert, actually. So
They only play
he
Street
knows a
Fighter.
thing or two
Yeah.
about that.
Anyways, no, I really think they play different. I think that DK is more deliberate, and their passive playstyle is more of a. We know exactly the timing when we have to attack because we're stronger. While LGD China is like, let's build our advantage until it's so big that we stumble upon victory. You know, like, oh, they initiated on us. Let's just throw things in the air, click people.
You know,
we won.
You know, I this was actually what I was talking to Bruno about during the break. Is I completely agree that's how they've been playing recently.
Yeah.
That was not how they played during the G1 League Season 4 en route to taking
the second
championship
place.
there, the second place there. No, they finished. They beat DK. They
No,
took the
sorry, yeah,
championship.
G1 League 4. I
G1
think
League
G1 League
Season
5
5, yeah.
is LGD second place, right?
Yeah, second place there. That is not how they played in in G1 League not in the LAN event.
In the
but
qualifiers.
In the qualifiers.
Yeah.
It was always Xiao 8 going mid as a Beastmaster, a Templar Assassin, Queen of Pain, these strong game controllers, Templar
Right.
controllers, and he would just have a good start and just go ganking, and he wouldn't stop. And it was like every gank was like clockwork, but they don't quite have the mojo. I feel like this team is just sort of rattled.
Maybe Xiao was channeling his
Maybe
trying to search for a proper girlfriend now that he has it.
you know, I have a theory.
Okay.
It's Zhao Ji. It's her fault.
It's
I'm
her
probably
fault.
not pronouncing your name right, but it's her. You know,
Yeah.
IX Mike tweeted about this.
Do you think?
Women are distractions.
Women are distractions.
boot
But what a
camping.
nice distractions they are.
He's boot camping. He says he refuses to meet women. He won't go out. It's a
Jesus.
problem.
I have to teach something
With
to
that
kid.
stash, how can you waste that?
Kid, you have to do something with your life. It's not all Crystal Maiden.
Yeah. LD, you can-
Our Asians wouldn't know anything.
I
about
know-
that.
I know what you- I
They've
ex-
never seen a mustache before.
I was going to say, LD, you can teach them a thing or two about not meeting women.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Ouch.
Oh.
Ouch.
You know, I think it's
That's
an
a
IX
low
Mike
blow.
thing. It's because he plays hard support, and if you think about it, all like at least more than half the women in Dota are support players. I mean, sorry, women in Dota are support heroes. So that came out really wrong.
We're not sexist here.
Support heroes like Crystal Maiden, Lina, Windrunner can be played as a support.
So
But
what we've learned today is that Ice Frog is a dirty, dirty sexist.
shame on me. Him.
Queen of Pain?
Queen of Pain,
Yeah.
yeah. Support
Luna?
Queen of Pain is a blinky
Luna?
Metamancer.
Luna carry?
Templar Assassin.
Lena carry?
Templar Assassin, there you go.
Templar
Lina carry.
Assassin's very manic.
Phantom Assassin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phantom Assassin is kind of like she needs
She
levels.
prances around. You know?
Yeah.
Doot, doot.
Surreptitiously.
What?
She
I thought we were talking
whispers
about
to
her-
you.
them being carries.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. This has gotten very sexist. We're going to wrap it up here before we get into too much trouble. So
Yes.
if we have the schedule ready for tomorrow, Kawa? No, we don't have the schedule ready. All right, we'll show the bracket one more time. Upper bracket round number
Wow.
3
There we go.
is coming up. And it's going to be DK versus LGD China. That one will get underway at, oh God, wait for it, 15 SGT. And then we'll have IG versus Navi, the International 2 Grand
Wow.
Finals rematch at 18 SGT.
Also, the group stage rematch.
Who cares about that? In all seriousness, though, IG took care of business when they played 2-0 versus Navi. You got to figure Navi's out for blood now.
I mean, Navi always does that. They did that in International 2 as well. Their group stage was meh.
It's actually pretty awful, and there was some contention, some dissension within the team. Then they put it all together.
They put it all together. But that's how they roll. It's like, well, group stage, if you think about it, if you get first place like IG and DK did, well, it's kind of like a couple days of relaxation and taking it easy. But Navi was like, okay, let's just play, observe the enemy teams. Now they know how they play. Now we attack. It seems to be the case. Maybe it's not the case. Maybe it's just luck. Maybe it's whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a nice story if we write it that way. So let's think that it's all about Puppy being like, interesting. Now I know how to play against these guys. With this very puppy-like voice and this very puppy-like height.
I still love that quote by Dendi as to why Puppy's the leader.
What?
Because he's the tallest one. That's so good. I love that. All right. Well, those
For
are your
funny.
two matches for tomorrow. It's going to be DK versus LGD China, all set to get underway at 15 SGT, followed up by IG versus Navi. Best of 3 for both at 18 SGT. Thank you all for joining us. It's the Alienware Cup brought to you by Alienware, MasterCard, as well as DPM Interactive. We are Beyond the Summit and the GD Studio, and we'll be back tomorrow with some more action. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you later.
Welcome back to the final game of the Alienware Cup today between LGD International and Rattlesnake. They're all tied up 1-1, and soon we'll be going into the match. Bruno, you look chirpy, cheeky,
I just was
chappy.
listening to the music that was in the break. It's
Okay,
kind
did
of
you
funny.
set that music up?
No, Kawa did.
Okay.
I just gave him the suggestion.
I suggested.
Yeah.
What have you suggested if you jumped on? And he did it.
I would jump next to him because I'm a follower.
Okay, well that's good to know.
Yes.
So going into the last matchup, what do you expect from both teams?
I expect LGD to win.
Yes, which means what do you expect from Rattlesnake?
To lose.
I'm glad. I
Yeah.
was trying to set you up with that one.
No, it was quite easy.
Yeah.
But no, the thing is, I think that Rattlesnake went a bit lucky in the game 1 by just failure from LGD to properly execute a very hard lineup, and at the same time Rattlesnake found a way to deal specifically against that. Second game, the way that LGD did not allow Rattlesnake for such an easy way out. I think that LGD now know that. They saw, well, game 1 didn't work, game 2 worked, so now they know that what works and what doesn't for game 3, and shouldn't have much trouble. I mean, Rattlesnake has been very passive in both games, and it's all about LGD.
So do you think it's on LGDint to not mess up or Rattlesnake to play well?
I haven't seen Rattlesnake being active at all in any of the 2 games. They just waited and counter-reacted to whatever LGD did. So by doing that, you pretty much are saying, I'm going to win if you make a mistake. It's not going to be out of what we do good. So that's why I say it.
So it's all in the clutchness factor? Yep.
It's the clutchness factor and the creativity. It's all about it.
All right.
All right. Well, it looks like they're already in the ban and pick phase, and they've just got started. So we're going to go to that. And Lumi, Merlini, hope you enjoyed the game more than the last one. Good luck.
Hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game 3 of LGD Gaming International versus Rattlesnake. This is a elimination match of the Alienware Cup. Of course, loser will go home, and they will take home $1,000 in prize money. MUFC got the other 1,000, which, you know, I'm not sure whether they're happy or not. Of course, I'm joined by Merlini, and of course, I'm Luminous.
Well, looks like we are off to a very similar draft again. Speaking of creativity, looks like LGDint will go with
That 8-point creativity.
Nature's Prophet. I mean, they did rotate. The game was a lot different than game 1, though.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
went
they
aggressive triple lane, and it worked out a lot better for them. They had no gyrocopter for them. That's the real big deal.
And no Slaga Siren for them either. They were just taking every single hero away from LGD and Gaming, saying, hey, if you're so creative, show us something new.
And let's see, what can they really... I mean, they could always just do Triad and True with just CK Wisp, dock them points for creativity, but it does work very, very well, especially against these heroes.
Of course, you could always go back to Lyca and Luna, the two heroes that they've been kind of
mass
sniping a lot of games and do a ton of pushing. Nature's Prophet, always very good at that. LG Gaming, though, banning out both Dragonite as well as Alchemist on the second phase, saying, no sir, Rattlesnake, you may not have those heroes.
Rattlesnake bans, yeah, the magic immune heroes. I'm actually surprised that they banned those. Maybe they want to put a...
Those are Brax heroes that he plays very well in the offlane. Although the offlane heroes has already been selected, you don't really know where Nature's Prophet really goes. He could start in the jungle, he could start in the mid lane. So it's safe bans. It's safe bans.
So I'm curious as to what LGDint is going to do. So first game, they went Queen of Pain solo mid, PA safe lane carry, and they kind of got dominated in the mid or late game. Last game, they went with a little bit of a safer pick with the gyrocopter, although mid lane was definitely not a safe pick with the Mirana. I'm curious whether they will do it again, but I don't think that Mirana is such a good pick here because they have a lot of things that can actually block it. They have the Visage Bats, or the Familiars rather. They have the Naga.
Well, let me stop you there.
Naga images.
G needed no help with stuff blocking his arrows last game. We just
You do have a great point there. We need the dash AA, the arrow accuracy.
Yeah, what about the dash HA, like the hook accuracy? Why
I
did they
know.
take those out?
We really do need those commands.
need those
What
back.
would you predict it at? I would say maybe 20%, 20 to 25.
He did land some clutch ones after ensnare, so maybe a little bit higher. But yeah, it's around 20.
Next level arrows right there.
All right, Rattlesnake's gonna pick up one of the most defensive lineup. Bruno was pointing out how Rattlesnake was very defensive. Now, not only do you have Silent Siren to back you up, you also have Earthshaker. And you know what we need to kind of just put the icing on the cake? All you need is the AM, and we could go about 40 minutes, 80 minutes of farm.
Wow, you are genuinely excited about genuinely excited.
Yeah, we have
about
like
the AM.
we have snacks, we have junk food. I'm ready.
I'm gonna ask LD to sub for me if it's an
LD is
game.
casting Corsair afterwards, so I don't know if he wants to sub in.
Well, let's see what LGD wants to do. They picked a Sand King. Again, more AoE I think is better. If they went for a single target stun, it's just I don't know. It's just way more risky. They lacked AoE a lot the first game. Wow,
Wow.
I'm going to go with Imran again. I thought that he is going to have trouble with the arrows, but maybe with the Sand King stun, a little bit easier possibly than the net.
Well,
We'll
I
see.
mean, we kind of predicted the Naga Mirana as a combo. We didn't even really see it being executed too much. Not that it was necessary, but it was really the Moonlight Shadow that's a surprise factor.
that thing
but-
owns.
Right, so I imagine maybe Rattlesnake hopefully will be a little bit more prepared. A Morphling ban out. Has LG been playing some Morphlings? I didn't know.
I mean, it is kind of a global hero. They could do Spectre too, with the replicate.
Are they afraid? Yeah, are they afraid of Are they
Mass
thinking of
globals?
that will go Spectre Radiance? Or like, man, you can't have a replicate Spectre for free.
I mean, you got
Is
to be
that the
scared of
idea?
that 36-minute, 36 radiance.
Oh, they're gonna go with the Weaver. Is this a Weaver Radiance? But one thing,
That would be absurd.
one thing to say for sure is that there is, I want to say, a lack of high burst damage. Like Sand can give you some burst, and Mirana gives you some as well. So that means I want to say Weaver should be able to time lapse.
Dude, that's a lot of
Every
burst
fight.
with the recent buff to the
If
what
you
are
land
they
the
called? Starstorm?
arrows.
Starstorm 2 and the arrows?
Yeah.
If you land it. That is the big question here. Can whoever is playing Mirana, it was God's last game. Will he be able to... Godz? I don't know.
God.
G. I'll just call him G. G.
I want to say that with Fissure and Naga Sleep, you should be able to actually time lapse every single time, and that is actually a big worry. I
But
also
they have to have him in position last game. We saw Brax and the Wisp 1437 last game always in position to protect
Sure,
the gyrocopter.
yeah.
Will the Earthshaker and the Naga Siren be in that really clutch support positioning to protect the Weaver? That is the question.
We'll have to see. I also think that Weaver matched up pretty well against Wisp because when you're being relocated upon, you have a ton of ways to get out with your high movement speed. And generally, in more hectic team fights, if you have a swarm on the Wisp, or if you're just right-clicking on the Wisp, you can actually kind of remove him from the team fight fairly quickly.
And LGD.int going with a lot of the heroes that we saw from game 1, they have banned them out. Alchemist, Dragon Knight, as well as a Leshrac. They fear that mass stun lineup so much.
Yeah. It's going to be Vengeful Spirit, so revisit of game number 1 strategy. So we expect a ton of roaming in the form of a Vengeful Spirit and Wisp.
Their late game is awful.
This
I'm
is a
gonna throw it out
Sanking
there.
farm. I love personally Sanking farm. You get a quick blink dagger, and you just like kind of old school mania player that you
Could be Radiant Sand King. That would be awesome.
Sandy Mage. Anybody? Like if you want to take it late, you know, that's definitely a thing. Is it a thing? I don't think it's a thing.
It could be a thing. He can make it a thing.
Yeah, there you go. When legends are made, LG Gaming Int going Sandy Mage.
Well, looks like we will have a lot of aggression. G again on the Marana, so solo mid, much like last game. Brax, I think he was the game 1 player of the Nature Prophet. I will go ahead and introduce LGD International. We have G on the solo mid Marana. We have Misery, again playing the Vengeful Spirit from game 1. We have EO, Wisp, played by 1437. Brax on the Nature's Prophet, and Pycat on the Sand King. Again, this is game 3 of the best of 3 series, lower bracket Alienware Cup versus LGD.int and Rattlesnake.
$1,000 prize money on the line here for the loser that goes home. Lamb's going to be playing Naga Siren solo mid on the other side of the map. Luo going to be going so far offensive on the Weaver. Earthshaker is going to be following him in the hands of Kabu. IC should be slowly rotating back top on Gyrocopter, and last but not least, Neo or Sage or Sagam on that Visage.
Looks like we will get a lot of action. I think that LGDN is going to do a safe lane triple lane versus possibly Rattlesnake's aggressive.
Yeah, keep talking. Bruno's giving me a massage right now.
So we see a Treant Protector, or is it Protector? Just a Treant, regular Treant, no Treant Protector in this game. Scout out the lanes from Rattlesnake, and we see them do an aggressive triple lane with the Earthshaker, with IC on the Gyrocopter and Sagam. Are they going to find him there? Oh!
Ooh, Kabu gotta get out of the way. He cannot be initiated. He's gotta be the person that's backing him up. Arrow, of course, will miss, but the Burst Strike will not. Kabu's gonna give up first blood, and Fissure not even get casted. Earthshaker, you gotta stay very far back. Kabu makes a pretty big mistake. You cannot give away free kills in the tri lane because, especially when you're playing offensive, you don't have any catch-up mechanism or mechanics such as like pulling and whatnot. And they were even gonna give up haste rune.
They wanted to lay an observer ward there. One thing about Wisp is you can almost always get to your jungle faster than opponent's team. If you have the tether there, you can just rush there with the tether move speed and be prepared for the aggressive warding by Rattlesnake. And again, they had the Treant that scouted him out. I'm actually surprised that Rattlesnake pushed into there, considering how safely they've been playing the past few games.
Well, they're gonna have to. I think they saw Misery pick up the haste rune, and she is already going mid lane here. Lambdo, it's gonna. Apparently, they didn't see it. The tether stun is gonna apply the arrows. Hopefully, he lands that one. No, he misses as well. Gee.
My goodness. 0 for 2. Let's get an arrow accuracy percentage
right.
counter. K-Pop-tosis, have that running, please.
Please, 0% right now. Fissure is gonna hit on the bot lane here against Pycat. Pycat should be mostly fine. Sanking getting a ton of level, having two ways to kind of get away from these particular heroes. IC is going to be getting the farm here. Instead of the Weaver, speaking of him, he's going to be up top against Brax, and Brax should have a very tough time.
Yeah, he had.
As I say
he
that
had
though,
sentries. He bought his own sentries.
yeah,
though.
he bought his own sentry. We've seen the Nature Prophet player.
Oh, we see a smoke. They want to kill this Weaver.
It's going to be tough though. It depends on where the magical missile hits because the travel time is fairly long enough where you could kind of get out of the way, especially when you're moving with max movement speed.
But we will see. He does not have a level up in Sprout right now. He does have a sentry ward, but Luo's positioning is very, very safe right now.
Harrietamin.
Oh, another arrow whiff. I saw it in the middle. It whiffed.
0-3. Alright, Harrietamin, Path to Freedom. Do you tango through?
Do they have enough tangos?
Yeah, they got like 6.
I think they should. Oh, wait. Luo just
Uh-oh.
uses Shiguchi. This is the time. They need to go.
Uh-oh, that's a second. That's more than enough. No Ujik to the left. Magic Missile is going to hit. And nice summon that's going to give him a little bit of sight here. He 2-1. No, Central going to get dropped. And that is successful roam here from Wisp as well.
Why did they use the clarity on Misery? They could have gotten away with a little bit of efficiency there, trying to clarity the Wisp and tether for that mana. You got to get that value, man.
You do have to get the value. Kabu making the rotation up top as a level 1 Earthshaker. And he's going to be helping out Weaver to survive here. Generally, Weaver should be absolutely fine as a solo matchup. They do now tether back up just for the heck of it.
Rattlesnake rotating though. They really do need to do this to counter this aggression. Meanwhile, Sand King about only 3 last hits, so he's getting shut down only by 2 heroes.
Yeah. Neo. Not gonna do too much. I wonder what exactly the transition is. Arrow is gonna hit 1 out of 4.
This one
25%.
definitely mattered too.
Yep, it did, and nice. It's always more stylish to open up the gank with the arrow than to follow up.
This
and
is true.
G, following up, and right now it's all LGD all the way as they are just ganking every single lane. In my opinion, winning.
Bycat, the Sandstorm farm. They have a sentry on bottom.
You might be in a little bit of trouble. Got to use that burrow strike to get away from those nukes. I think he disjointed, and here comes the whisk, and it is icy. Time for him to get back. Pycat getting regen back up. Nicely played here by LGD. Again, getting a ton of experience, a ton of kills. Every single lane is being won by them. Great play.
They're rotating so well right now.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of expect this kind of rotation. It's, I want to say, almost even obvious. And I don't think Venge and Wisp are very strong kind of roaming gankers. But again, game after game being played by LGD, I'm just very impressed.
So let's see. Kabu is up on top, but he is not really shutting down Brax's farm. Brax is 16-7 compared to the Weaver's 12-3. Granted, he did have a little bit of a safe lane farm while he was dead, but still pulling out ahead in the off lane matchup, buying sentry rewards yourself.
Yeah,
nicely played by Brax.
He's also going for face boot next, so that's going to allow him to have an edge in terms of last hitting and denying over the Weaver. As we do see Naga Siren trying to secure himself a little bit of rune advantage.
And looks like it will go. Oh, another arrow! He hit one.
Oh, that's gonna be going up to what's the math?
2 out of 5.
2 out of 40% right now. He does have to haste. Double Starfall's gonna give me. Oh, nice disjoint on the second one here. Lamb could actually fight this one with his illusion. Those illusions not exactly being micro to the best. He runs it towards it, or does he? Yeah, okay.
Here's where that really low right-click damage comes into play, and that really high armor by Naga Siren. 7 armor at level 4. That's ridiculous.
Yep, but I mean LG right now.
Oh, top lane.
Moonlight
Brax.
Shadow going to be used at defensively here, and again another time where it's just so annoying for them to deal with. They also could have used it a little bit offensively. Sentry were already in place, so they should see Eventual Spirit
Morana, is
running
he gonna
past.
try and get a kill on M here? He shoots an arrow, and that's a whiff. 2 out of 6.
2 out of 6.
Keep counting.
Keeping that. Are you on the G cam right now the whole game? Might as well be. Bruno.
Anyways, bottom lane Misery looks like he's in trouble. They're pinging him out, but are they actually gonna go for him?
I'm not sure whether Icy or Misery is in trouble because when the two next, one's gonna stun the other, and all right, somebody's keeping count. Thank you very much. Misery on the right side. Still thinking he could initiate. Keep in mind that you could actually eat through this particular tree and then come out this path and initiate behind the tree path as well.
So we see TP mid by Naga Siren, but just a farm. She actually has Observer Wars on her, getting ready for that nighttime.
Tether for the 20% movement speed, and they want a Burrow Strike on Icy. The stun will hit, the Burrow Strike will follow through. He's taking a ton of damage right now. Neil, gotta drop your load. You do, and nice TP in from the Earthshaker Fissure. Not gonna get the second kill. Cooldown Soul Assumption. Fired it off. Too far from home.
Wow, Pycat just barely surviving there. Oh my goodness. Wisp actually didn't have enough for the spears there. I think that kill could have been a lot cleaner, but lacking just a little bit of mana. Had they gotten that efficiency and that value with the clarity,
Yeah.
it would have been a clean kill.
Misery on the mid lane, or on the bot lane, getting a little bit more EXP. We want to hit that level 6 as soon as possible. It looks like we're going to see a rotation up top. And let me tell you, G's got a regen rune, and he's got a ton of mana. Let's see. Oh, the long range arrow from downtown! And an air ball.
So close, though. So close.
Yeah.
That would have been so clutch.
So
Lon M trying to find some farm in mid lane. He is hurting right now. He has 23 last hits, but he just has bottle, brown boots, and 2 ironwood branches. He has to go home and heal right now. Looks like the safe lane Weaver also picked up a bottle. They are ready to fight.
Yeah, I really think that the Dire really needs to just abandon lanes and start fighting somewhere, because passive lane control is just not going to do it.
This rotation is just too much for them.
Yeah, the constant rotation, the fact that every rotation has been effective. Sand King's got level 6. Burrow Strike into an Earthshaker and you just channel Epicenter, he's dead. Same thing with Neo. Same thing with the Icy. Like, there's just no way to actually, for them to break that combo. So Earthshaker, his dutiful job is to stay bot as a level 3 and just have to use that fissure defensively.
And they do have the Wrath of Nature up too, and that is just insane amounts of burst damage. EO, meanwhile, level 3.5, checking Vengeful Spirit 4. Oh, there's a Moonlight Shadow. They have this ward there.
Oh, they do, and
they have a sentry. They're ready for this.
Yeah, but you got the 20% burst movement speed. They want to go on Neo. Fissure's got to come right now. It's not going to be on them. Wrath of Nature comes in as well. Terror's going to give them a little bit extra sight. They do back off. It's okay though, like you miss engagement like that with your Moonlight Shadow, you don't lose much, you know?
Oh, I think they see this ward though.
They should. And they gotta bring it down.
They can't go out and kill it right now, though.
Eventually they will. Look at how aggressive Misery and 1437 is playing. They're playing like weak-ass support heroes, and they're just getting ready to tower dive. Meanwhile, speaking of tower dive, up on the top lane here, Luo getting hit. Look at these treants. They're doing all sorts of work. Brax being chased back and forth under the tower, but he's not going to die. Just nice jukes here by him.
Wow, I'm actually quite surprised that he used that time lapse there to try and get that kill, but he knew that Brax was out of mana. He had a small window of opportunity there. 8-minute rune goes to Pycat on bottom, picking up his ED.
He's got a bottom himself. I'm not too sure whether you really need it as a one-roll Sand King. Generally, what we've seen in the past here is like a Vanguard, Arcane Boots, just make himself a lot more tankier, and then you go for a later Blink Dagger. But because we have the Vanguard, you could do a lot more in team fights. But it seems like he's going to go for a Blink Rush after the bottle.
I personally like the bottle just because he always takes some splash damage from whatever it may be. Just Naga Riptide Illusions, maybe a couple of flat kits, Shikushi or Harass from the Weaver, a long range Fissure. You really want to be topped up because Sand King is going to be in the middle of the action. The only melee hero on LGDN, often going in for offensive burrow strikes. You really do need that extra bit of HP. Granted, he does have the Wisp Tether, which is minimal heal, but he doesn't even have his bottle yet, 1437.
Maybe actually that's 1437's bottle. No, it's Pycat's. Maybe Pycat will just lend it to him for the whole game.
They want to kill top. They have a Sentry Ward down.
Yeah, they had that one down for quite a bit now, but maybe you actually want to offensively swap against him. You can't do that though. He does have time lapse, so I think they're waiting Luo to dive, and Luo is diving in right now. Misery thinking about going in. Also on the bot lane, I think this is again very reminiscent of game 1 and 2. Rattlesnake getting a little bit of trouble early game, but they're going to just slow it down, play extremely passively, and just farm. Hopefully, to them, LGDN will make a couple of mistakes, but LGDN is playing perfect so far.
Yeah, LGDN waiting for Luo on top to make a mistake and play aggressively up on Brax. Misery has just been so patient.
I'm slowly getting some form back into mid lane as well. Another teleport going on top. That's going to be on the Sand King, so Moonlight Shadow is going to be used to initiate as well. And do they actually see the fade time? They don't.
Oh, they ping on him.
The Burrow Strike's got to hit, right?
They're not close enough for the Venge, so they need to wait for it.
They got it. They got a Burrow Strike to hit, Magic Missile, and
That
just
epi.
beautiful. And that's the Moonlight Shadow for you guys. It's just so effective. G's going to find himself a haste rune as well, and everybody has to back off.
Yeah, the problem is they can't have sentries everywhere. These supports on the side of Rattlesnake are so poor. No assist kills right now. They are shut out. 10 minutes in the game, 0-5. They had sentry wards on bottom, but they just can't protect everybody.
It's basically like a different version of Smoke Gank, I want to say. It doesn't dispel next to the target, and, you know, sure, it takes a longer to make it actually work because of the fade time.
Trying to come around from behind on top lane.
Oh, Moonlight Shadow to be used to initiate. You got to send multiple TP in. That's going to be Weaver so far. I think Vengeful Spirit is going to be the easiest target. Fissure is going to have to be for 2-mana Fissure. The Swarm's going to come through. Nice Burrow Strike through for Pycat. They're going to try to rescue Misery. It takes so long just to kill a damn Vengeful Spirit. They do get one kill, and I do believe 1437 is going to get dove upon as well. Couple more hits, and look at the Swarm minusing them armor. Nice double kill by the Weaver, and since everybody's here, let's do some tower pushing.
Great initiation by Rattlesnake there. Naga Siren coming from behind instead of TPing. They really needed those kills.
Yep.
And it'll halt a little bit of the aggression. Checking out Nature's Prophet, he almost has his Midas. He has a Midas recipe on chicken as well as 600 gold. I see both glyphs going up too.
To delay the tower pushes. Rattlesnake doing a very good job lasting the top, and they could actually TP to defend the mid one. Although you probably want to TP to the tier 2, because if you TP to tier 1, you get chains down very quickly.
I don't know if G's going to hit that arrow though on a TP target.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's some, well, there's a TP in on tier 2, but
he has no mana.
Way too late here as Neo, I don't think he's going to...
Whiffed arrow.
Uh-oh, Misery running forward, looking for the swap, not going to find it here.
He's not level 6. He's almost level 6.
The full rotation come here for the rest of the Rattlesnake team. It's okay. I think Rattlesnake is actually making a small comeback.
2 free towers though. Oh my goodness.
Well, I think those towers are basically forfeited already. I still think that they needed a quicker rotation. But to be fair, Rattlesnake was down by so much that any kind of trade you get is okay. Misery now rotating in mid. They need to drop that sentry, but he's gonna get found. But got a time lapse.
Oh,
good choice. Good choice.
Very good choice by Luo.
Oh, arrow. Whoop. Scouting behind the tree lines. You gotta see what's up there.
Well, it is very hard to hit a Shikushi Weaver. Granted.
It is. I want to just kind of put a disclaimer out there. We're kind of just, jokingly having fun with G. Vastly better player than I am, but miss arrows are miss arrows. I'm going to say that.
He missed some on Venge Stun. Oh, there's a Moonlight Shadow again.
No, they actually, I think, they actually scouted a couple of guys out. I hope they seen them on the mini map, and yeah, they do get the hell
Shouldn't
out.
they just pick up a gem by now? They've wasted so many money on Sentry Wards.
Who can hold a gem? I'm not sure who can. Like Weaver, maybe.
G?
Oh, you mean the Radiant?
Yeah, Radiant. Radiant should.
Yeah, they definitely should have a gem because you give it to G, yeah, you give it to the Sanking, who is your farmer.
Oh, they are going to go bonkers on Sagam on top. He does not have a TP scroll.
Yep.
They know that, and they're looking for him behind the tower, but he is in a very, very safe
Naga does
position.
have TP. Unfortunately, he doesn't have sleep.
Oh,
The
they
arrow,
ping him out.
well, scouting those trees. Well, they did actually see Neo. Here comes a TP. The Burrow Shrek should actually get the job done.
Out of position there. I mean, you're trying to farm a safe lane by yourself against this
They have no sight.
hyper-aggressive play.
They have no sight at all over the map, so.
Got to take some risks, I suppose.
And Luo is pushing forward, and like right now, I feel like LGD is leading Rattlesnake by the nose. Wherever they go, the Dire is forced to go there and defend.
Yeah, again, as they were talking about, one of the analyzers, they're forced into this like reactive sort of game. They're reacting, but they're just a step behind on every pace.
Yep. Meanwhile, it looks like we're gonna see a final slow rotation coming to milling for Rattlesnake. I think G's going for the exact same item build as he had last game. Shadow Blade coming up from Marana.
Yep, and Naga Illusions doing a little bit of scouting action and farming action in the side lanes. They are scrambling for farm.
Kabu, swap into Burrow Strike, into Tether Sun, everything on top, and that hero would have hit, but it's not gonna count.
Oh goodness, G, you are quite the player.
For anybody that's not having a drinking game out there, you should be, and you guys know what the drinking game is about. We do not.
James, where are you?
We do not endorse drinking, or at least
we don't endorse underage
underage
or
drinking.
irresponsible
or
drinking.
irresponsible drinking. Yeah, all right, Bruno gives me the thumbs up on that. What? LD yells out, "What kind of drinking is left?" And there's a good point. We also do not endorse taking bad bets while being drunk. Merlini.
We also do not encourage losing all your
Rares.
Dota 2 rares.
Yeah.
Purely for educational purposes on my end.
Okay.
Experimenting with the Dota 2 Lounge World.
All right. So, serious time.
14% arrows. Serious time.
40%. All right. I mean, on the bright side, he's landed 2. And one of them was spectacular on a offensive gank. So what does Rattlesnake do? They smoke up as 4. They're baiting with IC. They're looking for a couple kills. Brax is in the nearby vicinity. And do they have detection? That's the first question. You gotta get Lamb. Fisher's gotta be perfect.
There's
Go.
gonna be like
Go.
an epicenter in right here. I think
they got him.
they're finding kills here and there, but I think one of these ganks they're just gonna be forced into this terrible position with a channeling epicenter and the relocate, and they're just gonna get team wiped. Like,
Oh man, that's sick.
Totally, I'm calling it now.
Moonlight Shadow is happening right now, or oh no, it just ended. Excuse me. Actually, that I didn't even think of that. That is so sick.
That sinking pick, man.
Alright, they do actually get the tier 1 though, but they do trade one of tier 1. Again, trading for Rattlesnake is completely fine.
This is going well for them. They're stopping the hemorrhage, although the graphs do not reflect that.
Well, there's a buyback on Brax, so...
But the momentum's definitely halted a little bit for LGD. They were 5-0. Now, in the recent past few minutes, they've traded 2 for 3, falling a little bit behind in kills. They have a Sentry Ward for G.
Yeah, they do see G. They're going to slow him down. The Fissure's going to hit us well. Drop those low, my friend. The net's going to get dodged. And here comes the epicenter. Like you predicted, the song will be used, and they will back.
They were ready for
back,
that
my friends. So Kapu just died to the balls in his face.
Wow.
Oh, here comes a hasted Sand King. Burrow Strike. Yeah, that's going to be a free kill. Burrow Strike for the cancel on the TP. Oh, Brax!
Pycat.
Pycat misses.
He can time the epicenter plus the relocate. I guess that's more than wisp, but he can't hit a stun. But regardless, LGD coming on top there.
Can he time this one? Blind?
Do we get an arrow count for that?
Oh.
Is he gonna hit it?
Oh, he hits!
Oh, he shoots. He scores.
What a connect. Right now, I want to say, as the top lane here, Misery under a little bit of trouble, or is it Lamb perhaps in a little bit bigger trouble? The Fissure will hit. Come on, Fissure.
He's so slow right now. The phase was really paying off for him. He does have a Shadow Blade if he decides to buy it. There's a Fissure.
There you go. And there's going to be a Nets, and there's going to be a couple of Riptides.
Yeah, so that fire Claymore quickly. Yes, he got it.
All right. Call down being used, Praxis.
Dude, he got that value. He didn't even lose any gold.
He didn't. I want to say that Shaq shoots better free throw percentage than G shoots arrows, so... That's pretty bad.
Whoa.
That's pretty bad.
Whoa there, Lumi. Whoa.
I'm just throwing the numbers out there. But one big key difference in all of these games is that Wisp, this game has a pretty good time mech for a support Wisp, and that just means that I don't think Rattlesnake will have any damage to kind of deal with this. Icy on the top lane. I do believe he's relocate on the back line here. Arrow's gonna miss, of course. It hit illusion, don't count. They're gonna focus right on the Wisp. It's hard to do so here. Burrow Strike will hit it, swap him back out. A ton of nukes being dropped. Moonlight Shadow being used for good measure here, and Lamb on the run. Juke's left. Juke strikes, trying to break angles, and I don't think you can. But meanwhile, Swarm on the back line doing some work, and Lamb is juking for, well, he's juking for days, but it's not going to be enough. Misery does have the Moonlight Shadow still. They're going to go on Braxton. Everybody and their mom is invis. Pycat will Burrow Strike to the south, and he should be fine. He's looking for Icy. He's not going to find Icy. Or will he? What a Burrow Strike from Pycat. I think he's going to go down, maybe. Yes, he does. In fact, he does. I think it says he does a couple times. But big win here. Another big win for LGD.
They need sentries. They have Dust, but that's just not enough. They have Sandstorm. They have 2 Shadow Blades. They have the Moonlight Shadow. They really need a lot more detection than just 1 Dust on the Earthshaker.
Meanwhile, LGD is just ripping open this map as per usual, just farming every lane, every tower, farming the enemy jungle as well, and taking fights deep into enemy territory. Luo, as per last game, gets a vid booster, and he guesses on his next item.
Casual bit booster. Radiance.
36-minute radiance. Yeah, there you go. I mean, why the hell not, right? What do you have to lose?
They might have to go home. Return home to...
Look, man, they're going home already. Their bag is already half packed. The manager in the back line is already packing their bags because the rate that this game is going.
Fatalistic Lumi at his best. Gold graph 7,500. They're almost, but they're just exactly mimicking each other. Oh my goodness, I can't even tell the difference. Anyways, 7,500 gold in favor of LGDN right now. Complete control of this game right now. Rattlesnake forced a turtle. They need to find some sort of kills right now. They got in a couple with the smoke ganks, but aside from that, they haven't had much luck besides the one fight top where Naga Siren used the Song of the Siren to sleep them. But now that Wisp is 6, now that Furion has a lot of items, now that we have the Epicenter relocate, these tools are all available to counter-initiate in case Rattlesnake does decide to go very aggressively with that setup. So Rattlesnake kind of confined in this sort of the game. They're just all 5 set up. It's just like they're all on the same screen. Typical, but they don't really have a choice. Smoke gank. Here it comes.
Well, they have to run into multiple Shadow Blades. They need Dust. They need Sentry. They do have a gem available on Weaver. I think this is a very intelligent pickup.
Last-ditch effort. They need it, though. This was a great pickup.
They're doing a 5-man gank on a Wisp. I'm not even sure whether it will work.
Relocate quickly!
I don't know. Moonlight Shadow, that's not going to do anything. Fissure. Yeah, they are going to get a 5-man smoke gank on Wisp. That's cool.
Well,
And
I mean, they do need kills. They need to try and pressure some sort of map. They can farm the opponent's jungle right now. It's a small win for them. Stop the hemorrhaging in the gold graph.
well, Icy going back on top, working towards that BKB. He can't even go into.
He's so scared.
He is really scared. You don't ever know when Shaq's gonna hit his free throw, so you gotta be careful. Icy next to that tower, got some creeping up. And geez, he's looking.
Keep my eye on G right now.
Yeah.
Wisp has a mech.
Oh, here we go. The arrow into the swamp. What a player! I don't know who to cheer for, Misery or G there, but well played. Song of Siren comes back. Do they have buyback available? I don't think they do.
Oh, Wisp Epicenter. I'm pretty sure this is going to come right now. Oh my goodness.
Well, it's channeled. It's being used, and the relocate comes in, and that's going to be bam in your faces here. Sagam in big trouble, but the two-man fissure. Oh, they are going to get Neo. Echo Slam, the first of many, hopefully, to be dropped here. Luo got to focus on 1437. Couple more hits. They do actually break him down, and that's okay. That's okay.
That's a good trade. 2 for 2. Even.
Pycat's a little bit trouble. He's Burrow Strike. The worm is still on him right now. A couple more hits gonna do the job. Right click. The blink dagger being completely canceled. Arrow, that's gonna hit us while improving his shooting record. And well, Pycat's
wow,
okay.
can we call him Shaq?
He's still Shaq level, yeah.
Wow. I mean, that was some cool stuff.
That was some cool
creativity.
stuff.
Creativity.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one, banked on the backboard. Still went in.
Wow, I mean, they're pulling out some cool stuff with the swaps, with the swap tether stun, with the swap into
Arrows.
an arrow.
Relocate on the epicenter. We're definitely seeing the full potential of this LGE lineup. But with all that said, tier 2 towers are all still up. Weaver's been getting a ton of kills in this team fights. And
They need to get this gem.
Right. They need to get a gem themselves or take away Weaver's gem.
Yes, and Vengeful Spirit going for BKB, I guess? Wow. That's aggressive.
Or Acceptor?
Could be Axe after. I like the point booster first, just because you get the 150 mana for just
Sure.
a little bit more gold.
I personally
200 gold.
actually is a big fan of things like Sange into Heaven's Halberd on supports, especially like against carries that maybe you force them into a BKB, or when their BKB gets very low, your Heaven's Halberd is drastically more effective. But in any case, whatever item he builds this Ogre Club into is going to be good because he needs that HP.
Yeah, I think an urn would be great for them
Sure,
too. Synergizes very well with the Wisp. You get the value. It's I see a lot of pings coming out. And again, Brax using these Force of Nature to scout. This is much better than we saw Pycat use it last game. I believe it was Pycat. But
Yes.
they really need more vision. They need information on Rattlesnake, whether they're solo farming, whether they're team farming. It'll set up for relocate ganks, set up for profit TPs, and the more information they have, the better. So I'm glad they're making use of that because they don't have the Observer Ward tool available to them because of this Weaver gem. That is such a nuisance.
Yeah, I actually take it back about Weaver's item though. I don't think he's going to be going for he's got a Sage's Mask. What is
Medallion.
It's Medallion. So just playing very much
that
mid game.
Roche.
Look at Lamb. Look at Lamb. Look at his gold. I believe we're going to see a Radiance on Lamb. One of the kind of the latest Radiance possible, but it's something that we've seen from AEI 2000. It's something that we've seen from Zenith, I believe. But
Wow, that is aggressive, especially getting that casual urn too when you're rushing Radiant. I have not seen this.
I mean, remember how late that game went with Ice, just pushing every single lane with Naga Siren Illusions? And it's very important for them to keep up the early tier 2 towers. The gold graph just continued dip in that game, but they held on for so long with the Naga Radiance. And I do believe that this perhaps is the best chance of winning. Again, it's a long shot, but hey.
They could just go Rapier Gyro.
You could, but against so many ways to kind of initiate from globally, and of course the threat of a amazingly landed arrow and a swap, it's actually quite dangerous. So I'm not sure.
This is true. They don't really have any good wielders for it though. Priestess of the Moon, not the best with it, and no one else really a good carrier. But Rattlesnake, they've gotten back into this game with this gem pickup. They can take down all the aggressive rewards from LGD.int. They can farm their own jungle safely without having to worry about a relocate gank, and that is so important for them. They're also sending out Naga illusions, one in top, one in the jungle, and one on bottom lane, and they're getting information. They're finding some sort of farm. They've regained control of their jungle. Again, Brax is doing the same thing with these trains. Both teams trying to scramble for just kill opportunities.
Yeah, I do have to point out that LGN cannot get complacent with their lead. It's a very healthy one, 10,000 gold, 10,000 experience. They have complete map control. They're farming wherever they want. The key thing about this particular LG lineup is that they're not that good at late game.
They're going to give a Roshan for free, it looks like.
Well, the medallion's going to help very much so there. But, I mean, we saw the win rate of a late game Mirana at 40%. Sand King getting farmed, that's
Hey,
really good.
it went up since last game.
It went up by a little bit, yeah. But Sand King late game with a BKB, that's not going to carry, right?
Needing Radiance.
Yeah, well...
Radiance.
You need to be a Sandy mage. Nature's Prophet could carry some, but you're not gonna outcarry a Weaver. You're not gonna outcarry a Naga, and you're definitely not gonna outcarry a Gyro. Now,
They have to suspect something's up. This is when you need to send the treants into the thing. A lot of the other Eastern teams are so vigilant about this, just constantly keeping one in there. It lasts, what, 60 seconds on a 37 second cooldown, so you can always have one in there and just constantly shoot them in there. Just don't let them get back into the game by taking out a free Roshan. And now they have the Ancient Sect. This is similar to what we saw.
Bling Epicenter, Burrow Strike right on Kabu, and are they going to relocate back out? Swarm's going to hit on 1437. It doesn't. And they back off free. Nice pick off using Epicenter. And a game that's slow as this, those Epicenter are absolutely free, so might as well dump it out. BKB is now finished on Pycat. Nicely done. And meanwhile, his allies getting a tier 2 up top. So I do believe, yeah, that was a pretty bad play, letting them getting a free Aegis like that. But at the same time, they're so far ahead, I'm not even sure how much that even matters.
Right.
But I agree with you. They need to scout Roshan a little bit better.
In game one, they were just confined to pretty much this much of the map, and they've just really been abusing this area right here, the Roshan, the Ancient Sect that they're doing right now, and LGD just aren't prepared for this. You really have to expect that with a Gyrocopter. They had Gyrocopter the first game, they had Gyrocopter the third game. Of course they're going to do Ancient Sects when they're behind. Meanwhile, we see Nature's Prophet pick up a Scythe of Vice, but
I think they need to go now. Like right now, because if Lamb plays as well, Once he has the Radiance, he will never be seen on the map, and every single lane will be pushed. Having Nature's Prophet to ganking was